Hello, class. My name is Chris Nappy, and I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about the technology blockchain. So, what is blockchain? Blockchain is a distributed database or ledger. It's a record keeping system, but it's a record keeping system that may be accessed by numerous parties. So normally when you make a transaction, you have a lot of different databases that transactions are entered into. You have the seller's database, you have the buyer's database, you may have a supplier's database. You have three different record keeping systems of the same transaction. Blockchain is one centralized record keeping system that allows multiple parties to have access and allows continuity and transparency of the data because everybody has access to the same transactions and can see exactly what happened. So if one person or one participant makes a new entry or block, it is sent to all the participants. So everybody has access to it, everybody can view it, and everybody can see what's going on with the transaction. So it allows transparency again, it allows everybody to see what's going on, but it also allows you to have a good record and a good history of the transactions and what's happened with this information for everybody to see. So blockchain was developed in 1991 as a way to put a digital stamp on documents. And it was a way to not allow these documents to be tampered with or backdated, but it allowed a digital stamp on documents. So now if you want to have a record of a document, you may go to a notary, have the notary stamp it, have the notary date it, and that's a record of the document. But in order to do this digitally, blockchain was put together to put a digital stamp on the document and not allow these things to be tampered with or backdated, and allow the integrity of the document to stay in place. So this technology went largely unused until 2009. And in that time, Satoshi Nakamoto created the digital cryptocurrency Bitcoin. And I guess the simplest explanation of a digital currency is you don't have a wallet, you don't have US dollars, you don't have Canadian dollars, you don't carry money around with you. You trade currency digitally between parties. And essentially what you do is you eliminate the third party from your transactions because you just transfer the currency digitally between yourself and another party. And the blockchain keeps track of all of these transactions and keeps record of all of these transactions in its platform. And that's how blockchain was utilized to keep track of all Bitcoin transactions that happened between parties. So the pros of blockchain is the data cannot be altered. Again, once the record is put into the blockchain, it is set. Keeps a record of all transactions so you can trace it, and it does eliminate the need for multiple databases since transactions are entered into one database and tracked. So the way blockchain works is each block has a unique hash and also has the hash of the previous block stored. So if you do change something, you have to change the code in all of the blocks. It becomes very cumbersome. So you really don't want to go in and try to alter information in there. So if you break the block, if you change the hash and the hash no longer correlates to the previous block, then essentially the chain is broken. The blockchain is broken and it's no longer an accurate record-keeping database. If you change the data in the block, you alter that hash, and as a result, you have to go back and change the data in all of the blocks, and that could be a very time-consuming and cumbersome process. So it's a great way to ensure consistency of data. It's a great way to track data. It's a great way to have history of data. And it's a great way to have transparency of data because you have multiple people who have access to it and can see what happened. It's seamless for the benefit of multiple participants. There are private blockchains, public blockchains. Obviously, the more people who have access to it, the more susceptible it could be to phishing or scams or things like that. But it does allow for everybody to view and see the transactions that happen in this chain of data. But remember, it's only as good as the information entered. And I'll close with our good friend Sam from FTX. I'm sure you've heard the story. They had a digital cryptocurrency platform that they used. They did not enter all of the deposits into their blockchain. They entered it into a separate financial holding company that they had, inflating the value of their holdings. And essentially, just like in a Ponzi scheme, when people went to withdraw their money out, the money wasn't actually there because it hadn't been entered. And so the information is only good as the information that is put into it. And I just like this because he had the whole bling bling going. So I think it's a great technology if used effectively. And I think that there's a lot of benefits and a lot of uses for it in a number of different organizations in the future. Thank you very much.